good afternoon or good night from wherever you're watching. So today we have a very special guest. हमारे साथ प्रसन्ना सर हैं. प्रसन्ना नायडू सर का एक यूट्यूब चैनल है बडिंग लॉयर्स नाम का, and sir has more than 17,000 subscribers, which is a huge thing for us. So we are very thankful, sir. Sir is also an advocate. He practiced at the Bombay High Court before shifting to working at a think tank based in Bangalore right now. And as of now, he stays in Nagpur and is shifting between Bombay and Nagpur, and is a great human being. We have also done a stream on his channel where we have reacted to memes. तो सर काफी कूल है वैसे, मतलब लगते लॉयर है, ऐसे बड़े लगते हैं पर है काफी कूल उस सेंस में. तो प्रसन्ना सर कैसे हो आप?
ग्रेट ग्रेट बट मैं पहले भी बोल चुका हूँ, डोंट कॉल मी सर. इट फील्स लाइक आई एम वेरी ओल्ड, which I'm not. Whatever introduction you have given, it's quite like in brief, it's fine. But currently I'm working in a think tank, but not as a researcher, but I am handling the multimedia stuff like podcast, videos and stuff. That's about it.
So before we jump to the multimedia part of your life, where you have now shifted to YouTubing and also working in the multimedia team, so can you, in brief, tell us how exactly you took law and your days of practicing at the Bombay High Court?
Sure. I mean, to be very frank, let me tell you about budding lawyers. So I started working after my graduation. I graduated in 2017, and then I started working in criminal litigation. And within a year, I learned so much. Within a month, I learned so much, which I would have learned previously if I would have interned or worked under some lawyer stuff. So that was the main reason of starting budding lawyers, because I saw there's so many people doing the same mistakes I did before, of not participating in multiple extracurriculars, not interning, etc. So I only did one internship in my whole 3-year LLB. Okay, and that too in a high court for 2 months, and only two moot courts. And in one I was the researcher and one I was a mooter, so not much exposed to other extracurriculars, and obviously no internships. So that's why the whatever exposure I got in the first job where I was working under a criminal lawyer. He had a huge practice, many well-known matters. But due to some reason, it was too hectic, and I wasn't able to do. I weren't able to do other stuffs which I had in mind. So that's why I left that job within 1.5 months. And I started a blog, buddinglawyers.in/blog ऐसा कुछ तो. So where I started writing blogs about whatever I was learning while studying, while working. So, and I used to share that. I created a Facebook page. I used to share that and stuff. Then I met my mentor. I was in contact with him from many years before my law college days, actually. So he told me that you start with videos because videos will give you more reach instead of blogs. So I started with videos on YouTube, and that actually gave me more reach. So that's how Budding Lawyers ka YouTube channel started. And then I just kept on putting out content which whatever I knew. Then after a certain time, like 2 years approx, I came to know that whatever I knew I've already put out, but there is so many things to know and learn. So I started contacting people who know things about certain aspect of like certain field or subsector of a law, and started interviewing them. And that's how the podcast started. So that's about budding lawyers, and that's so I also worked after that first job 1.5 months. I also worked with another lawyer. I worked around 7-8 months in criminal litigation only, but he used to work in only one specific court, at Mazgaon Magistrate Court. and some cases in sessions court, but not much other. So it was less hectic. I was not able to, I didn't travel to multiple other courts. Whereas in the first job, I was traveling to all the courts throughout Mumbai, sometimes even in Thane. So
Right.
it was very hectic, and it was not like you are traveling in a first class coach. You travel in
Very
second class.
adventurous then.
Yeah, very, and with those huge files in your bag, and
Right.
it was crazy, man. It was crazy. And it's not, you know, you have uh, you get to know about that you have to reach this court to attend a matter just an hour ago, and you have to travel through local trains and all. Okay, so you have to travel. Then if you do, obviously you don't know each and every court in Mumbai, so you have to find
Right.
out where that court is exactly located. Okay, then reach there, then find a particular courtroom in which your matter is called out. Then go to that courtroom and then see, was your matter already called out before you reach, or it's still yet to be called out. Then if you're lucky enough and it's yet to be called out, then you sit there and read the files and prepare your whatever arguments or whatever application you have to submit. And that, this is, you know, somewhat like, if you're lucky enough, it goes. But sometimes it used to happen that your matter is already called out, then you mention the matter, then the judge scolds you, why are you late, where were you when the matter was called out, and etc etc. So there are many things which happen. uh, for example, let me share you one thing. Okay, I was there in this magistrate court in Balat Pier. Do you know Balat Pier area?
No, I
Amay?
must be
Area,
not.
which
Amay?
area?
Balad Pier, Balad Estate.
Yeah.
So it's in South Mumbai.
Esplanade, right?
Near that.
Esplanade, huh.
I don't think Esplanade is the CST wala court, I think, but Balad Pier is a different one.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've heard.
So there,
Ballard Estate.
So Balad Estate. So there's a magistrate court. I was there, and I was quite like 1-2 months were like of my practice were like, so I was quite confident. Now I knew things, you know, how things work and how to approach, you know, that confidence built up. Okay. And I had seen people mentioning in courts, okay, before the court actually starts, like judge sits, and before he starts calling the matters in a sequence with whatever the list he has, people start mentioning their matters for some reason, that please take our matter, the small thing which is to be done, etc etc. So there was certain similar thing which was there in my matter. I think my client was not there, and I just wanted a date or something like that. Okay, just a small thing, to just a minute thing. If I just mention, and the judge will say, okay, grant him a next date. Okay, so the judge was late actually. I reached there before time, and there were many other lawyers too with litigants, and the judge came around 10 to 15 minutes late. But that's fine. So he sat, and I went, you know, in confidence. I just mentioned the matter because, you know, everyone mentions, na? So I knew that. So I went there, I mentioned the matter, and the judge gave me a weird look, like strange, you know, I don't know, he saw an alien or something like that. You know, what is he doing? I was like, I don't know, but I just saw someone beside me, and he was like, fine. He was also confused. Why is he looking at me like that? So he's like, are you new to the profession? And I'm like, I mean, few months, something like I said. And he's like, don't you know that mentioning doesn't happen like this, in this manner, in this court? Are you new to this court? And he started saying all these things to me, and I was like, dude, what mistake, what big mistake I did. Mentioning happens in every court, and it is like similar procedure happened, like before the matters which are listed are called out, you go mention the matter. But that was not the case in that Balad Estate ka court. Okay, you go through the sequence, and they finish those matters in one go first, and then mentioning and other things happen. So that was a big lesson and an experience. And it's like, it's not common, like whatever the procedure is goes on inside a courtroom is not standard in every courtroom. So that was the biggest lesson. The judge is the kind of Raja of that court. The procedure is decided by him. So it may be same in different courtrooms too, but it may be different in different courtrooms and different courts. So that was an quite an experience for me.
Okay, so your first answer, was very fun-packed. So I can see through the camera that everyone working as a junior everywhere has a smile on their face. I can see it through YouTube, and and it's quite a task. I mean, traveling in different courts in Mumbai. So in the morning you will be in, as he mentioned, in CST, or then you will go to Goregaon, then you will go to Andheri, and then you will come back to Bandra, and then and yeah, it's a very hard job. Yeah, so this is one thing. Online courts have kind of given a respite to many juniors, right, in that way.
Yeah, this is on my first day of the job. I was sitting outside my boss cabin, and he made me sit around half an hour, I think. And then he comes and gives me a file and tells me to go to Dindoshi Court. Okay. Dindoshi is not a station. Okay, in Mumbai. So I didn't know about Dindoshi. I came to know that there is a place called Dindoshi when he gave me that file. And then I came to know that there is a court there. So I went there, I found the code, and there's another thing. I have made a video on this on my channel, like my first day of the court. Yeah. So that was a crazy experience.
So, okay, so for all the viewers, so his YouTube channel has a series called Lawyer Stories, right, where he shares all the stories of him experiencing, and also his many lawyer friends experiencing how this experience he told about, then how a judge treats, or so on and so forth. So there are many stories which we don't get to know merely as law students. So you can check that out. It's great. Yeah. So
also, sir, has it ever happened that you went late to a court and then the judge never listed your matter? Like he said that now you come tomorrow. I'll not take the matter today.
Yeah. It happened. So I think it was this court just in front of CST. I don't remember the name, but yeah. So it's a magistrate court, and I was told to go there. Like I was not given the file. It was not like the matter given to me to attend. But when I was returning to my office, I was told, Amish, should we start again? Because camera ये हो गया था ना.
नहीं कोई issue नहीं.
अच्छा ठीक है. So there is this court in front of CST. It's a magistrate court. I don't remember the name, but I was told to go there. I had a file. I was not given the matter to attend there, but when I was returning to my office, I was called and told me that they told me that go there and attend the matter. And it was like the person who makes the list of matters and schedules in our office. She missed that matter. She missed that this matter was had today's date and we had to attend. So she missed that and she realized it later. So she called me up and told me that go please fast, go to that court and attend this matter. So I was like, I was new to the profession, obviously. I didn't know about the matter. And it was like quite late. So most probably the matter was called out. So but I still went to the court because I had no option. So I went to the court and the court was empty. So all matters were over, called out. But the judge was there, the staff was there. And so I just entered and there was a staff sitting beside, like below there, near the court this thing. So I asked him ki so and so matter was this called out, or what date it is given and what happened. So he told me that NBW was issued and non-bailable warrant was issued. Okay, and I was like, I don't know what to do now. So, and the date is already given. So he only told me that the staff, that even if you mention it, it doesn't make any sense because the rate is already given. So you just not, it was not about NBW. It was some application was filed, and that was to be argued or heard, and so no one was present from each of the side, from the both litigants. So the application was dismissed. Application was dismissed. That okay. So I said, "Abhi application be dismissed, okay," and the matter was called out. So what can I do? So I just went back to my office, and still, even like, this was not a matter given to me in the morning when the matters are distributed among juniors. But still, the my senior was so angry on me. He was like, "Why didn't you call me when he said that matter is dismissed?" I was like, in my mind, the matter was dismissed. What would we do even if I call you? So then I
Right.
came to know, no, if I would have called him, he would have told me that make an application for cancellation of this, dismissal or something like that. You submit that application, and then the court hears you. If he is satisfied, he may cancel that thing, dismiss of that application, what he did. So this is how like the things happen. So for juniors, you keep in mind that whatever happens in the court, if you have even little doubt, just call your senior or your senior colleague. He'll help you out. You can't assume things that this may happen or this would have happened. So that's one experience I have.
Yes,
Wow.
yes. So again, so this is very new to me at least. And like, so the next thing being that, so you obviously, so after being a litigating lawyer for a year, you switched to YouTube. So you focus more on YouTube, you focus more on research and
Amir,
content
your
creating.
volume is very low. It's fluctuating.
Yeah. So what I was saying was, so after practicing as a litigating lawyer for about a year or so, you switched to content creating and YouTube, right? You focused on more on that. So how has your journey been there? So what do you miss about? So obviously, how did you make a switch? How did you take this bold choice of letting it go?
Right.
The main reason, actually, there are multiple reasons, but main was my health. Actually, my health got deteriorating uh, after so many months into litigation. And there are, especially for junior lawyers, young lawyers, they have to do a lot of things apart from just appearing in courts and researching. Okay, which we have assumption that what lawyers do is go to courts, attend matters, do research, meet clients. So this is just 20 to 30% of the work which junior lawyers do. Actually, other 70%, 60% of the work is totally different. It's more clerical. You have to go to you have to spend more time in the admin department of the court, and all sorts of things happen. So I was not comfortable with that. Like, I thought it's not worth my time. And secondly, my health was getting affected. So I just took a break, and I was just figuring out what to do. But this videos thing was going on, my blog was going on, so I devoted more time into that. So I went more time into that, and certain other things were going on in my personal life, my family and all. So I was handling that too. So these 2 3 things were going on. I was not earning for around 1 to 1.5 year almost, but I was doing things like Budding Lawyers Ka YouTube, this, that, etc. So that was the phase when I started learning about YouTube and how things about videos, production, creating, etc. That was the thing. Yeah.
Sir, before Amay asks you any more about YouTubing, I just had one small question about the UPSC phase that you had. So you told me that you are also planning to prepare for the civil services. So please
Yeah,
enlighten
I
us on
mean,
that.
I was pretty serious about it, and I had also started preparing. I had bought NCRTs. I started reading NCRTs. I still have this book. It's just here, but about those pile of books, I have my focus light, so I can't remove that book and show it to you. It's Lakshmikant over here, Indian Politica,
Ah,
and
Lakshmikant,
Indian Economy. Ramesh Singh is also here.
Ramesh Singh.
So
Right,
yeah,
right.
so those two books are still here. So I had started reading, but as I like there was certain my mother's health got she had got operated, so pretty disturbed in my house, so I was not able to study, and so I just, and also this, you can't do law school, like you can't give your law exams and UPSC exam at a time because it clashes.
Acha,
Okay,
right.
so either you skip your law exam and take your re-exam,
Hmm.
or you forget about law and focus on only on UPSC.
Hmm.
So that's a tough choice to make. So I thought UPSC, if you don't clear, you you have no option. You just have a degree, bachelor's ka, and on that basis and your experience, you have to find a job. Instead of that, let's finish law. And after law, you can obviously prepare for UPSC also with your job. So I thought, let's finish law. So that's why I skipped UPSC for that time and continued with law.
Like one thing being that all of us, or I'm not comparing anyone's phases like that, but at least everyone has this one phase where they start to doubt, and they are undergoing through some genuine crisis at home or anywhere, that makes them rethink what they're doing, right? And those struggles we don't talk enough, right? We need to talk more about it. So that is one thing. Okay, so without any further ado, I want to straight away break into that area of YouTube and all, because that is what is more interesting now. So for me at least. So like
Sure.
17,000 subscribers is not a small feat, right? So and you have
Yeah.
done it throughout a course of many years. So how was your starting years like, and how did you keep posting videos, frequently, and over a period of time you achieved that
Sure.
peak or a high?
Yeah. So yeah, so the channel has grown to a like significant. We have subscribers and all, but still I am learning a lot of YouTube. It's a completely a different ball game, and it's there's so much to learn in only in YouTube. Forget about, I'm not talking about social media in general or platforms in general. Only YouTube has so much to learn about. I'm still learning. Still I am struggling to get a dedicated viewership. You will notice that many of my recent videos don't get so many viewers even if I have so many subscribers. So there are many things involved. You will know once you start into YouTube, you start making videos and handling your channel. So there are many videos which have crossed 50,000, 40,000, 30,000 views also. So there are many things involved in that. For example, those videos are ranking for some search terms, they are getting suggested somewhere, and obviously it has some value, that's why people are sharing it, those videos. So that's there. So both types of videos are there on my channel, and you'll also get different types of content. For example, there's me speaking about giving some tips, 5 tips, or doing this, or things like that. I'm also there's a series where I explain about technology, how, sorry, lawyers and law students can use technology in their profession, which is very important, and which is kind of neglected by our colleagues. And even I don't see this approach of tech friendly approach in law schools also. I don't know about your school, but I don't see it very proactively. They have this attitude of using and you know using technology more, and telling students to become more tech friendly, because it has two things. It will obviously reduce your workload, which will help you focus your dedicate your time to something more, which will help you in, which will give you more knowledge. You can invest in reading, or talking to more clients and many other things. Yeah. So I don't know why people are not focusing on it. Also, our judiciary kind of is not leveraging on it as it can. So that's one thing. And I completely diverted from the topic. So I would just like to remind me what you asked. You were talking about YouTube and how I grew, something like
I mean,
that.
what has worked for you? What has worked for you over the years
But
to kind of achieve 17,000 subscribers?
so as I told you, those videos which are ranking and getting suggested and shared, I think those are the main reason of getting more subscribers and views. So what I focused on was um, at start you have to do whatever you can to reach people. So I used to share my videos and all in multiple Facebook groups. I think 20-30 groups I had joined, and I used to share it on all Facebook groups. Then I used to run ads on Facebook, which is quite cheap, 50 rupees, 100 rupees. You can reach, good amount of audience. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm agreeing to it.
Yeah, so that's just one thing. Then so one thing I remember is uh on Facebook I created this page from my personal friends and friends ka friends. You got how many 50, 100 likes, 150 likes, 200 likes, something like that. But then I started posting my blogs and videos, and I used to share boost post ka option is there. So I used to boost post and all. So and share, run ads of my page, which used to get some likes. So like that, after few months, I was like, I had crossed 1,000 likes or 700, 800 likes, something like that. And then I started actually focusing more on YouTube. So what I did was I went through each person's profile who had liked my page, and I, drafted a message, customized message, saying, introducing about my channel. This page has launched the channel. You can check out these videos there, etc., etc. And I posted that message to each and every person. There were around 800 persons, I think, people.
Wow.
So each and every person I went there and posted, and people, and then I realized people don't check their messenger ka message usually. So I was even getting replies after few months, even after a year, that okay, I'll check this out. so so that's how. Okay, the first 100 subscribers are more important than the subscribers I'm getting now. So it's more tough to get the first 100 and then the first 1,000, and then you will also understand that it becomes a bit easier. For example, I think my first 100 subscribers got after around 3 months, 3 to 4 months of making videos. 1 to 2 videos every week I was making, and I took 3 to 4 months to reach 100 subscribers. And I think about a year or 13 months, I guess, to reach 1,000 subscribers. And then the time actually reduces. So for example, now, even if I don't do anything, I get few hundred subscribers each month. Like each week, I get 50 to 100 subscribers.
Wow. Right.
And that number is really very small. So if you go to big YouTubers, you will come to know how their subscribers they get, and so they are in thousands and lakhs in months, and so that's
the video which is, which goes viral, then your subscribers can skyrocket from, let's say, 14 million to 21 million.
You have to just keep on going, whatever you are doing, keep on going, keep on improving. That is the most important thing. And after some time, you will reap the benefits of your hard work which you put in at that time. So that's about it, whatever I have learned till now. So obviously I'm not a big YouTuber yet, or I don't know, I'm not planning as becoming a YouTuber, but whatever I've learned from my journey till now, that's how it is.
Right. Great. So, I mean, with this, I can recall of many other YouTube success stories, or, which they have, stated that what they do, it's not a very easy job, right? You need to work hard and take it as an actual job. So, for example, there is one YouTuber called Alpha M, right? He's a fitness YouTuber based in the USA. So, like, what he does for the past many years, he's been doing that. He wakes up every day at 5:30, and then he goes to his office, which is very close to his home. So from 6 o'clock to 8:30, in the morning, 2.5 hours are exclusively for planning videos, right? To kind of think what videos to make, the content. So this is where the first thing in the day itself, he takes care of, what creating more content, right? Where there is no other thing to take care of in the
Got it.
morning. So if you do, so this is the hard work which goes into that.
So you upload a video and then 3 weeks you don't upload, then it will not work. So you make a schedule, whatever it is, one video per week, 2 or 3 videos per week, but whatever it is, you be consistent. If you are not consistent, even the algorithm works against you. And this is my personal experience. I didn't upload videos for 1-2 months between, and then my views dropped more than 50%. So that's how this YouTube and all works. And I think any platform will work like that, because they will want more attention of the people, so which will get through more content. And that's why you need to be consistent.
Yes, yes, yes. So yes, that is exactly. So whatever you do, you need to take it as a real job, right? So that is why you need to devote some time exclusively for the creating
Right.
YouTube videos.
And how did you start your second channel, PN Views? What was the story behind it?
PN views ka to, I mean, I am into like political stuff, like social issues and all. I used to talk with many people, discuss, debate, etc. Facebook, Twitter, etc. उधर बातें चलती रहती थी. Some people agree, some people don't, some people fight you, troll you. So all those things used to happen. And so when Budding Lawyers was going on, so my mentor suggested that you also start something of your, like, where you have your personal, like, it's your channel. Budding Lawyers is about lawyers. It's not about me. So you have some channel where you are the main, person, where you are putting your thoughts on, or opinions, or things like that. So the subject or topics which I was interested in is in this area. So I thought, let's start with this. And PN Views was the name kept because I was experimenting on, topics and subjects. So if I stick to something like politics and all, and if I want to create something else, then I won't be able to. So that's why I was experimenting with different forms of content. I also made many videos on self-help, spirituality and self-help, those types of videos. Then I realized this is not where I'm really good at, or something like that. So I thought, let's stop this. So I stopped making those videos, deleted all those videos. And I also made few commentary videos, like news commentary videos, funny type, using memes, gifs, etc. And so that was going on. But it was too much of work, for example, there's a guy called Philip DeFranco. He's a US YouTuber. He's a news YouTuber, but he uploads one video every day, 5 days a week. So, and that was when I started making these videos, I was making 3 videos a week, and that was quite like a lot of work for me, because going through news, picking up some topics, then finding good images, gifs, memes, and then making editing and all. You don't even have a good system to do that editing, so it takes a lot of time for rendering and all. So it was a lot of work, and the shelf life of the video, for example, news ka shelf life is very small. Okay. For example, if I had made a video on Budding Lawyers, how to make a case note or how to read a file or something like that. That will be there and that will be relevant throughout for many years, right? Even after 5 years, people will be watching that video and getting some knowledge, help from that. But if I make a news video, news commentary video, once that news is gone, within few days or few weeks, it has no relevance. Doesn't make any sense. Okay. So, so if you are putting so much of efforts and time, and the shelf life is so small, so I thought, why not make more in-depth videos specific to a particular topic, so that that video is relevant even after some time, even after many years. So I started focusing on particular topic videos. That's how PNU started, and then my job started. So I was not able to do budding lawyers itself. So forget about PNUs. But then I started, covered up with budding lawyers. I started making videos about budding lawyers. But PNUs, I still don't get time. So I started. Let's keep that aside. Let's see in future if I want to do something about it.
Yes, yes. And like in a country like India, you can find a good audience. Even if you have a very niche topic, you can, your viewership, potential viewership is high than other countries, right? So that is one advantage if you
Yeah.
can make good quality content. Yes.
Yeah.
So like,
till
okay, so,
now-
yeah.
yeah, man. ये पूछ-
Okay, so one last question, which from me at least, I want to ask is, so what do you plan next? Right, you already run YouTube channels, not one but two. So what are you planning for the future? What do you want to do in the future? So what's your plan?
That the answer may sound weird, but seriously, I have no idea clearly what I want to do. I mean, what I'll be doing. A rough idea is that like what I want to do in my life. There are many projects in general, so you can say an entrepreneur or something like that. I'm very much interested in filmmaking also. Uh, so let's see. I haven't done any course. I don't know much of it, but after watching few movies, and I'm quite interested in learning because I'm into like video editing and learning those things. So I got interest in that too. So let's see how it goes and where it goes.
Yes, yes.
So startup is the future plan then. Startup with filmmaking.
Maybe. Let's see.
I mean, you already have a good
And
foundation, right? You have worked on YouTube, so like
yeah.
it's a good foundation at least, right? Even if you haven't
Yeah,
done
I
any
mean,
course, then
I think
Yeah,
making meaningful movies is like very necessary. Just without, I mean, I'm not against any commercial films. That's fine. But I think I'm more interested in like documentaries and all. But instead of not only documentaries, also, for example, I just watched recently this movie called Sherni. Have you all watched it? No, you must watch it. It's a very beautiful movie. Um, After that, watching that movie, I started searching for other movies made by that director. His name is Amit Masurkar, and he had made this movie called Newton with Rajkumar Rao. Okay, both the movies are beautiful. You can just check it out. So
Newton is
these,
a fantastic movie.
sorry,
yeah.
I was saying Newton is a fantastic movie.
yeah.
Beautifully made. It is-
So I want to make such meaningful movies. If I become a filmmaker, that's a long way.
Yes. Hope we go to some theaters here and there, and like director Prasanna Naidu.
Crazy. Okay,
Okay.
let's see.
You see movies like Article 15 and Newton, now Sherni, and many such socially relevant films are on the rise now. People are accepting it in
Yes.
India, which is a very good thing. So I
Yeah.
guess your idea will boom very soon if you start giving us such content. With this, I guess we are out of our questions, and Amay, over to you.
Yes. So Like we have talked about many things, right? So, how loss happened to you, how it was being a litigating lawyer, those stories, right? So, and then, how you switched to, so we have talked about many topics, right? And also the main thing being that YouTube, so search engine optimization and stuff like that. Yeah, so it is very, so, since we have only new to this YouTube thing, so it was, very new to us, and we learned a lot also. So with this, I'm afraid we'll have to end the interview now. So
No issues. We can catch up anytime. I mean, we can plan and we can again
yeah,
have a chat like this.
sure.
No issue.
Yes,
Also, I
we'll
would,
plan well. We'll plan well.
yeah, and I would just tell your audience that if you guys know any lawyer or even law students who have something interesting to talk about or share about, who are doing something really good, interesting. For example, I also had an episode. So people have this like podcast. So we must be, we must do, we must have achieved something, and we must be practicing lawyers. So think it's not like that. I have also interviewed a law student before in one of my episode, because she had something interesting to talk. For example, she talked about paralegals, and because she was working as a paralegal in a court. So if you guys, whoever is listening, watching, if you guys know anything about, you want to talk about it, and or else if you know any other lawyers who are doing some good, stuff, interesting stuff, who can talk about a particular topic, do reach out to me on buddinglawyersindia.@gmail.com, or you can DM me on Instagram, and check out my YouTube channel too. Yeah, that's it. Also, lawyer stories is one thing. Like, I personally like lawyer stories a lot, and I've seen many people like too.
Me too.
So,
Me too.
yeah. So, if you have any stories to share, do feel free to contact me. We can schedule some video and like recording and record it.
I'm interested, so we can contact regarding that.
Oh, sure.